With LEGO releasing hundreds of new, unique sets a year, they can't all be great, and even the best LEGO themes occasionally have duds. However, that doesn't mean that these sets don't have potential. You see, in some cases, LEGO minifigures can cause an otherwise forgettable build to resell for hundreds of dollars. Today, I'll show you LEGO's worst sets that were saved by some incredible minifigures. As one of LEGO's longest running and most successful themes, Ninjago has given us some of the company's all-time greatest builds, such as the gorgeous Ninjago City modulars. But not all Ninjago builds are great. Arguably one of the worst Ninjago sets of all time is the Cryptarium Prison Breakout set released in 2016 during the Skybound season. Overall, Skybound was a bit of a mixed bag, with some highs like the Lighthouse Siege set, and some lows like Kai's Mini Dragon. However, this Prison Escape set was a full boxed release with 207 parts, 5 minifigures, and a modest price tag of only $20 US. Regardless of the price, this build is, to be blunt, simply bad. It's boring, unimaginative, and overly simple. If it weren't for the minifigures, this set would have been completely forgotten. If that was the case, then I wouldn't be talking about it here though. And so let's take a look at these minifigures to see if they can save this set. This build includes 5 minifigures, with 4 of them being unique to this set. The only repeat is this Skybound Kai with his gold shoulder plate, which also appeared in the Misfortune's Keep set from the same year. The other 4 minifigures, though, are all unique to this build. Well, sort of. To see what I mean, let's take a look at the Prison Guard, which is, according to LEGO, unique to this set. However, there's a catch, because every part used to build him here is available in several other sets, such as his torso, appearing in 35 sets over the years. This is something that comes up all the time when looking at what LEGO considers to be a unique or new minifigure. Unique doesn't mean that the parts are one of a kind, it just means that this specific combination of minifigure parts only appears in this build. Now, here's where things step it up a notch though, because this is Prison Outfit Zane, and although he has plain black legs that have appeared in a jaw-dropping 1,559 LEGO sets going all the way back to the very first year of the minifigure in 1978, he does feature this unique torso piece. The cool thing about this piece is how well it matches with the other somewhat rare torso found on his fellow prisoner. But speaking of which, the Stone Army Warrior is perhaps my favorite minifigure from this set, and also the one with the most unique parts. The most obvious thing about this minifigure is the second torso piece, which is in fact one of a kind to this set. You may recognize this as General Kozu's additional torso piece, just in gray instead of bright red. Additionally, just below this special piece, we see something else pretty interesting. This guy is wearing a nearly identical prisoner's outfit to Zane, but without the extra detail hidden underneath, of course. What's funny though is that this particular piece has only ever appeared in one other set, 2017's Police Truck Chase. Does LEGO exist in the same universe as LEGO City? It's a bit of an interesting overlap. But despite how cool this minifigure may look, this figure is only worth about $5 today. But of course, I can't forget Captain Soto. This is the only set to ever include this niche character from the animated show, and so fans were ecstatic to see him included in an official set. He has an exclusive printed head and a pirate hat with a special unique print to match his appearance in the animated episodes. Today, getting a used copy of this whole build will run you as little as $8, but an impressive $40 if you want a brand new sealed version of this set, because well, 10-year-old boxes for $20 sets are pretty rare. Technically, that makes the box the most valuable part of this entire set. But if I'm being honest, if this set didn't have such a great minifigure lineup, nobody would have ever bought this. While Ninjago is mostly known for its massive city builds and menacing dragons, there's another trend that pops up over and over again that many fans find to be a little tiresome: double bike sets. Over the years, LEGO has released tons of these small builds featuring 2 motorcycles and a couple minifigures. While the idea is cool enough, and these sets are technically pretty cheap, there was a time when LEGO completely overused this concept. The fact is that these builds are pretty bland, and user reviews reflect that. For example, let's take a look at the aptly named Ninja Bike Chase from 2016. This is a $20 build with 231 parts and 3 minifigures, including an almost identical Skybound Kai from the Prison Breakout set. Aside from Kai though, we have 2 other minifigures, Deepstone Armor Nia and Squiffy. The important one here is Nia, because this Deepstone version only appears in 2 other sets: the Temple of Air Jitsu, which retailed for $200, and the Final Flight of Destiny's Bounty, which retailed for $120. Considering that this double bike set included this Nia minifigure and was purchasable for only $20, this otherwise mediocre set proved to be a great choice for those looking to obtain this minifigure and potentially complete their Deepstone Ninja collection. Turning to another of LEGO's most iconic original themes, the Legends of Chima line ran for only 2 short years from 2013 to 2015, but it did give us some fun sets in that time. However, much like Ninjago, Chima had a bit of an obsession with motorbikes. Over the theme's short run, LEGO managed to release a staggering 33 different Speedor sets, which typically included a single minifigure, enough pieces to build the speeder and an obstacle, a few pieces of chi, a ripcord-powered Speedor, and some cards to play the game. Unlike the brick-built Ninjago bikes though, these could be powered up by pulling the included ripcord, letting the bikes jump off ramps, barrel through barriers, or pull off whatever other tricks you could think up. While it was a neat idea and was directly inspired from the extremely successful Ninjago spinners released a few years prior, these sets were all over the board in terms of popularity. Sets such as Boulder Bowling were praised, while others with less enticing minifigures and poor obstacles scored very low in reviews. Looking back, LEGO probably released too many of these in such a short period of time that LEGO fans really just simply had an overabundance of choices when they wanted to purchase one in store. The less desirable ones are some of the lowest rated Chima sets of all time. However, some of them are saved by their minifigures. With a paltry rating of only 3.5 out of 5 stars, the Ultimate Speedor Tournament is actually one of the highest rated Speedor sets out there, and for good reason. While the build itself is a bit bland, it includes both the main protagonist, Laval, from the Lion Tribe, and the main antagonist, Kragger, from the Crocodile Tribe. The ability to get both of the main characters in one set is fantastic. This was by far the cheapest and easiest way to acquire these key minifigures, because the others that included them were much larger, more expensive sets. For example, this version of Laval also popped up in the $40 Laval's Royal Fighter, while Kragger could be picked up in both the Croc Swamp Hideout for $70 and Kragger's Command Ship, which sold for $80. Compared to those prices, this $30 Speedor set was a fantastic deal if you wanted to grab both of these key figures. If you were only able to choose one cheap Chima set to own, this would be the perfect pick. And today, this set can be yours for less than $10 in used condition if you purchase it on a resale site like eBay or Bricklink. Another Chima set worth mentioning is Aeris's Fire Eagle Flyer, with 330 pieces and 3 minifigures. This is a messy, clumsy build that most people overlooked upon release, but as you might have guessed, it managed to include a few awesome minifigures. We got the Fire Chi Legravis minifigure with his nice cape, and the eponymous Aeris, also in Fire Chi version. Additionally, this set also included this version of Strainer, which includes his signature one transparent blue leg. This guy appeared in a couple other sets, like the much maligned Saber Cycle. While this set has one of the lowest ratings of any Chima set, it did include the stunning Fire Wars minifigure, which only ever appeared in this set. Now, you may have noticed that so far these unique minifigures haven't been especially valuable per se, despite their general rarity, but that's about to change. Nexonites was a criminally underrated theme that blended classic castle vibes with a sci-fi twist. While the theme only lasted a few short years between 2015 and 2018, it did build a lasting fan base who are still willing to pay top dollar for some of the rarer minifigures to this day. Let me explain. The Stone Colossus of Ultimate Destruction might be the coolest name for a LEGO set ever, but unfortunately the same can't be said for the actual build. Despite the genuinely awesome wings that really flap, by the way, this final build is kinda goofy looking. The face doesn't really pop, the arms are very barren, and the legs are super blocky, though they are supporting a lot of weight, so I understand that it was definitely a function before form kind of design. With nearly 800 parts and 5 minifigures, this set initially sold for $70 upon release in 2017. These days, despite its mediocre 3.9 out of 5 star rating, new in-box copies of this set currently sell for $600, which is super impressive for a set to appreciate 8.5 times its original value in 8 years. Used versions of this set can be picked up for a little over $100. That is, as long as they include all of the minifigures. That's crucial. Although Macy only sells for about $1.50, the rest of the crew fetches a handsome price on the open market. This version of Clay only ever appeared in this set, with all of these pieces being unique to this version of the minifigure, which justifies his current value of about $30. But the real prize here is the set-exclusive General Garg. Like Clay, this guy features a unique head, torso, and legs, but he's got something else that really sets him apart from the rest: wings. These wings have only ever appeared in black on this minifigure, and they've only ever been used 4 times, with purple versions appearing in 3 other Nexonite sets as part of this gargoyle minifigure. Today, just by themselves, these black wings will set you back up to $20, while a complete General Garg minifigure runs as much as $100. Now, something that's particularly interesting about LEGO is that when you start to turn away from LEGO's original properties and shift towards their many licensed sets and themes, the prices on rare minifigures skyrocket. Honestly, this isn't super surprising since themes like Nexonites or even Ninjago really only appeal to LEGO fans, but franchises like DC and Star Wars appeal to a much wider collector audience. This results in some awful LEGO sets truly being saved by their minifigures. On that note, the Speed Force Freeze Pursuit might just be the actual worst set in this video. With only 271 pieces and a retail price of $30, nobody was expecting this to be a smash hit, and the final build reminds me of more of a junior set than anything. So why do sealed copies of this set sell for more than $100? Well, it's the minifigures, of course. This set came with a total of 4 minifigures, with 3 of them being unique to this set. And when I say unique, I really mean it. This Killer Frost minifigure comes with a one-of-a-kind head and torso, while Cyborg here includes his unique torso and a super rare helmet that's only ever appeared in a single other set. Both of these are worth about $5 to $7 a piece. However, this Reverse Flash minifigure includes a set-exclusive head, helmet, and torso and sells for about $35 today. That's more than the original price of the set. However, there's no theme with more valuable minifigures than Star Wars. While the most expensive minifigures of all time are almost entirely convention exclusives, many of the most valuable minifigures to come from retail sets are found in the Star Wars line. As one example, the Geonosian Cannon from 2012 came with only 132 parts, 4 minifigures, and a budget-friendly $20 price point upon release. Of these 4 minifigures, only the Clone Trooper Commander appeared in other sets, and all 3 of the others were exclusive to this build. For starters, we got this Barriss Offee minifigure, which includes a unique torso as well as this distinctive head design. The giant freckles across her nose really stand out, resulting in a very accurate depiction of her character. On top of Barriss, we also got 2 very cool Geonosians. This Geonosian warrior appeared in one other set, the Geonosian Starfighter, but this version didn't have these very rare wing elements, which have only ever been used in 2 sets, appearing in the Duel of Geonosis as part of the Poggle the Lesser minifigure. Lastly in this set, we got the super cool Geonosian Zombie, which is the only minifigure to ever feature this Geonosian head, torso, and legs in this bluish-gray color. The real stars here, though, are these incredible wings, which are truly unique to this build. Today, these wings alone sell for about $4, which is the bulk of the minifigure's resale price of about $6. Combined, these 4 minifigures are responsible for more than half of the set's resale value of about $40 new in box. Moving on, the Imperial AT Hauler from the Solo film might not be the most impressive build out there with its 829 pieces and overall bland design, but it does come with 5 unique minifigures, one of which is worth more than the set originally sold for. 2 of the major standouts here are these Dryden Guards minifigures. These 2 each feature torsos and legs which are unique to this set, but the coolest parts are these unique heads, one with an open mouth and one with a closed mouth. Each of these currently sells for a bit over $10. We also got this Kira variant with a unique fur coat torso that currently fetches about $8 on the open market, as well as Val with their set exclusive head and torso and a price tag of around $10. However, these all pale in comparison to the rare and valuable Real Durant minifigure. This guy includes a very cool unique head, but the real prize is his truly one-of-a-kind torso. These double arm elements have only appeared a handful of times, but this is one of the most valuable, with a price of up to $60 for the torso alone. One piece, $60 US. Oh, you want the entire minifigure? Well, that'll run you as much as $90 for one in perfect condition. Considering that this set originally sold for $100, that's a significant markup. However, of all of LEGO's less than stellar sets to feature some pricey minifigures, there's one that stands head and shoulders above the rest. 2003's Cloud City. Now, don't get me wrong, this is by no means a bad build, and the set does a great job of recreating several of the iconic scenes set in this location. However, the fact is that this set sold for $100 in 2003, which is the equivalent of about $175 in 2025. The set came with just 675 parts for that $100 price tag, and was only available at official LEGO stores, which created a situation in which the set was both too expensive and too rare for the vast majority of fans. Today, if you can find a new in-box copy of this set, be prepared to pay as much as $10,000. Why? Well, it's the minifigures again. Those who managed to purchase one of these sets were treated to a generous 7 minifigures, with 4 of them being unique to this set. These days, the cheapest of these is the Stormtrooper, with a price of only $3. Next, it's Darth Vader, which can be scooped up for less than $10. Turning to the set's many heroes, this version of Han Solo sells for about $40, as he could also be picked up in this minifigure pack. Moving to the set's unique figures though, prices absolutely skyrocket. This set-exclusive Princess Leia variant currently costs nearly $200, while Luke here sells for about $250. This version of Lando Calrissian will set you back $250, with nearly half of that value coming from his unique cape. This is literally a $100 piece of fabric. But of course, all of those values only add up to about $750, which is less than 10% of the set's current value, so where did the rest of the value come from? Well, behold, the 2003 Boba Fett minifigure, perhaps the most valuable minifigure to ever be released in a retail set. This was the very first time that leg and arm printing had been used on LEGO Star Wars minifigures, and that makes this particular minifigure extremely valuable to both Star Wars fans and LEGO fans. Copies of this minifigure on resale sites go for as much as $8,000 in new condition, but even a used version is likely to set you back as much as $3,000. Clearly, a lackluster build or overly expensive set can be saved by the set's minifigures. Recently, I published this video analyzing which LEGO sets are owned by the most LEGO fans. Do you have any of them? Click to watch right now and also click the notification bell when you subscribe so you don't miss my next video.